I've been talking to Attila Ertsey here, who is one of the organizers of the 1914-2014 conference titled Lies, Facts and Perspectives. This year is the 100th anniversary of the outbreak of World War I. Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Well, you're analyzing the situation around World War I in a very interesting context, especially from the standpoint of the Anglo-Saxon historical literature. We can gain a completely new perspective on World War I if your assumptions turn out to be correct. Yes, indeed. Today we all tend to recall World War I as what preceded the catastrophe of the Versailles Peace Treaty, in which we Hungarians, Austrians and Germans are named as the responsible parties. In recent years, however, there have been many people, British and German historians, analyzing the responsibilities surrounding the war. I'd like to mention Christopher Clark, for instance, whose book titled The Sleepwalkers is a huge bestseller currently in Western Europe. That's the issue Clark is investigating in his book, and he proposes that in fact it was not the Central Powers who triggered the war, but it was rather, as he puts it, the result of unfortunate coincidences that led to the outbreak. But the direct casus belli was the assassination at Sarajevo, right? Well, indeed, that was the justification for the acts of war, and at the conference we aim to highlight everything in its background, because it was one of the assassinations best carried out in the history of our time, which we at the conference are convinced was preceded by half a century of careful preparations. But whose interest was it to cause the Austro-Hungarian monarchy in Germany to become so fragmented? Well, I have to say that there are secret societies in the background, but we'd like to refrain from talking about conspiracy theories. Are they Freemasons? Well, even, we can say that as well. But what truly matters is to talk about the Anglo-Saxon background diplomacy, because the organization of the assassination at Sarajevo was the work of secret brotherhoods linking together Serb nationalists. The organization was called Black Hand, and it was funded by a Goodwill Foundation previously established in St. Petersburg. However, this foundation was supported by the British Empire, which means, well, Russia was an ally of the Entente anyway, right? Yes, indeed. But that's a whole other story again, how Russia was lured into becoming a member of the Entente as a result of a cunning Secret Service maneuver, with the Dreyfus affair, because originally Russia also didn't wish to start a war against Germany. However, with the help of a propaganda campaign, certain people set the stage to build up an anti-German feeling among the Russian population, and they also created a militaristic view about Germans, which was quickly spread around Europe. In reality, it was the British Empire preparing for war, and this assassination, which eliminated Franz Ferdinand from the story, was good from the standpoint that, well, they were aware of Franz Ferdinand's intentions, which was to create a trialism to replace the existing dualism, with the inclusion of the Slavic nations, right? Exactly, with their inclusion. The largest population of the Austro-Hungarian monarchy was made up by Slavic people. Altogether, there were some 17 different ethnic groups living within the boundaries of a single empire, and the Austro-Hungarian Compromise only divided the empire between the German and Hungarian population, with the exclusion of the much larger percentage, some 17 million people. So that was what Franz Ferdinand intended to do, and if he had been successful, the tension between the different nationalities within the Austro-Hungarian monarchy would have been resolved. He would have been able to keep the monarchy united, which was against the Anglo-Saxon interest. Well, unfortunately, we are out of time, but I must add that what's really exciting about this conference is that it also deals with the fact that it was World War I that resulted in Bolshevism, Nazism, as well as the so-called Anglo-Americanism. But if someone would like to know more about all these, when and where can he hear the conference lectures? Well, the conference will be held on the 100th anniversary of the Sarajevo assassination on June 27th, 28th and 29th in Budapest, Hungary. And you can find out more about it at www.1914conference2014.com/EN. Thank you for being here today. It sure sounds like this conference will be very interesting.